All right, everybody. This is the place I usually like to start my training class. So let me do something. Let me do something very quickly. Um, why I like to do this is so that people will really understand that this business analysis thing that we're talking about, it's a big deal and it's a big global deal. Are we all together? It's a big deal and it is a big global deal. Okay. So I'm going to go so that you will see that globally, all right, people around the world, there's still the need to get um, project managers. This is global. So if you look at this, this is on my screen. I've done something around the United Kingdom. I'm going to put a role like business analyst, right? I'm going to put something like that, and I'm going to put uh locations posted, and let me put something for this. For initially, let me just do contract. So you will see that having business analysis skills is a must have for all of us. It's not a nice to have. All of us need to have business analysis. Everybody, every professional. My number one recommendation is to HR people, everybody. My number one recommendation to HR people is that, or to organizations and to executives of organizations like Mr. David and a couple of other people that are on the call, that are all executives of organizations. My number one recommendation is include business analysis training as part of the onboarding training for all your employees. As you're hiring new people into the organization, you should include business analysis training compulsorily as part of your onboarding. That's my recommendation. That's what we're doing in our own organization. We've got an organization of about 100 people, 100 plus people in between Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, uh, Accra, and now even in Nairobi, right? You need to ensure that you include business analysis training as part of your entry level induction, and it doesn't matter, right? Anybody coming into your organization. I was with the Federal Civil Service, with the overall head of the Federal Civil Service for Nigeria yesterday in Abuja, and we were even having these types of conversations, how they can ensure that a course like business analysis is taken throughout the entire Federal Civil Service. These things are important. These things are critical as it is. So globally, I mean, these are things that have just been posted in the last 7 days. And you can see here, right, everybody, you can see here, look at some of the requirements. I hope you can see my screen. Look at some of the requirements for a business analyst in the energy sector in the UK, right? Or in England or in the United Kingdom, however we want to look at it, one being the subset of the other one. Okay, but I'll rather even, because usually this is focused across the entire United Kingdom, not just England. That means whether it's Ireland, wherever it is, that's all. That usually jobs in the entire United Kingdom are the things that are posted here. So if you look in here, people globally, they're looking to hire business analysts, people who understand many things. So first, so everybody, if you're going to write something down today, the first thing I want you to write down is that all of us, it doesn't matter our profession, it doesn't matter our background, it doesn't matter who we are, where we're coming from, it does not matter. The first thing all of us need to do is to ensure that we all have excellent business analysis skills. All of us, lawyers, accountants, HR people, it doesn't matter what we do, facility management people, insurance professionals, bankers, all of us need to have business analysis skills. Now, apart from all of us having business analysis skills, a few of us can then decide that we actually want to pursue business analysis, or pursue a career path as a business analyst. Let me say it again. All of us, nobody, leaving nobody out. And I mean everybody, whether you're in sales, you're in marketing, whether you're in facility management, whether you're in logistics, It doesn't matter what department or unit that you're in. All of us need to have excellent business analysis skills. All of us, leaving nobody out. Now, a few of us can then, after all of us have ensured that we have excellent business analysis skills, a few of us can then look further to ensure that we want to become business analysts as a career path, so to speak. So that's number one that all of us must take into consideration. So once again, look at this, right? And this is a big deal. It might not be a big deal in Africa as at today, especially maybe in Nigeria, but globally, this is a big deal. Look at it. That means if someone like Mr. Kingsley was living abroad, who is one of our trainers, he might even be getting Nigeria, nobody's going to pay you this kind of money as of today, ordinarily, but globally, you know, a lot of things are a big deal globally. It doesn't mean that they're like a big deal in Nigeria, right? You know, some things are they're really big. I mean, in the US, if you look at, one of my friends was telling me that people who are involved with, what's that thing called? Like wrestling is like a, you know, wrestling is like an entire industry. Wrestling, I'm not talking about sports generally. So there are people who are all, should I say, wrestling analysts. There are people who provide food and nutrition for wrestlers. There are people who provide decoration of their fashion, their professionals, all of them, all around wrestling. All right. Now, if you come to Nigeria and you talk about wrestling, everybody's going to laugh. Like what industry is that? There's no industry called wrestling in Nigeria, but there's an entire industry called wrestling abroad. So the way we look at things in Africa, because of where we are, you know, one of the things I tell people, does anybody know the total GDP of the whole of Africa? 54 countries in Africa. Do you know our GDP? If you know it, go to the chat room and put it in there. And you can also check ChatGPT. On the average, what is our GDP? The whole of 54 countries in Africa. It's about what? Does anybody know? $3 trillion. They're about $3 trillion. That is like, is it Texas or California, one of those states? Or those states, that's pretty much almost like their GDP. The whole of Africa pretty much is like the GDP of one of those big states in the US. That's why the commentators will get online and they will say things like the country of Africa. What you don't realize, and none of us will get very annoyed. We'll say, how can they call us a country? We're 54 countries, blah, blah, blah. You don't understand that what they're looking at is our GDP, and our GDP looks like the GDP of a state in the US, right? What's the GDP of the whole of the United States of America? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Maybe almost $30 trillion or something like that. The GDP of one country, United States of America, is like 10 times the GDP of the entire Africa. So that's why a lot of things, and that I don't blame a lot of people when they say they want to leave the country, when they say they want to run away, when they say they want to go somewhere else. Because there's so many industries that have not even taken off. So if you look at the entire insurance industry, a good thing is that we have an insurance person on the call, right? Look at this. This is a business analyst who has decent understanding of insurance underwriting, and they're willing to pay the person, can you imagine, £615 per day. There's no insurance company that is even going to pay you this amount. Maybe not, definitely not for a day. Right? So it's because if you look at the entire size of the insurance industry in Nigeria, it's like a dot on the graph when we talk about the insurance in other locations. So this specific area of work called business analysis, right? Where you want to become a specialist business analyst. In Nigeria, every bank has got this role. In every single bank, every fintech has got people who are career business analysts. Yes, they do have them, right? But my point today is that all of us we all need to have business analysis skills. That's the single point. But for those of you who want to build a career specifically around being a business analyst, then you should join the training that starts on Monday. Oh, sorry, next week, Saturday. I beg your pardon. There's a training that we're going to be having. Somebody will post the flyer in the chat room. We're going to have a training for 4 straight Saturdays in the month of March. You should give yourself a some kind of Easter present, I'll say. The way people give themselves Christmas present. You should give yourself some kind of Easter present by signing up into that class, because in that class we're not just going to be teaching you general business analysis skills. We're now going to try to turn you into a business analyst. We're going to try to turn you into one of those kinds of business analysts that can earn £600 a day. Right? It's very weird. One guy worked with us in Training Heights for about 2 years or more. Then he went to Canada, and then he now wanted to become a business analyst, because while he was working with us in Training Heights, he never paid a lot of attention to these things. But when he then got abroad, he now saw the amount of money that they were willing to pay to business analysts. He was now saying that, you know what, he wants to learn it. Then I started laughing, because I said, you worked with us. We are the business analysis trainers, maybe number 1 or number 2 in the entire country. And then you didn't learn it while you were with us. Then you left, and then you wanted to start learning it. So everybody, I'm going to advise you, give yourself some Easter present. And the best Easter present you can give to yourself is that you should be a business analyst, or you should be a business analyst. I'm going to show you a couple of things, because so that I don't turn this into a full day training. The training takes about 4 Saturdays of about 6 hours. So I'm going to try to do in about 2 hours, thereabout, what it is that takes them about 25 hours to do. So I'm going to try to summarize a lot of these things. And so the first slide that I'm going to show to everybody is this, right? So I've written a couple of things here, all right? As I said, all of us need to have excellent business analysis skills. It doesn't matter who we are, it doesn't matter what we do, all of us need to have excellent business analysis skill sets. So the first thing, if you read here, everyone, right? I hope you can see my slide. So please read this very quickly. And this is the underlying point when it comes to business analysis. This is the underlying point. All of us, organizations, things go wrong because they don't have they don't have people with business analysis skill sets. Things go wrong in organizations because they don't have people with excellent business analysis skill sets. Things significantly go wrong in organizations because they do not have excellent business analysis skill sets. So that's why I said the most important person for me as an individual that really, or 2 sets of people that really need to understand this, 2 sets of people that really need to attend this training class, they're the executives of organizations, because the executives themselves, they don't realize how important these things are. They do not realize how important these things are. And HR also does not understand how important this is. HR people don't understand this. So they don't understand the importance of ensuring that all their employees have business analysis skills, right? They don't understand that. I'll show you a couple of things. Let me move on very quickly. And that's important. If you work in an organization, head of compliance in one organization is here, an executive in another organization is here, IT people are here, different people are on this call, senior people from different walks of life, some of them working for government, they're all on this call. The first thing you need to go back to your organization to tell them is every employee, every professional employee, every employee that has a computer assigned to them, every employee that has an email address assigned to them must compulsorily have excellent business analysis skills. That's the key thing you need to take away from here, right? That's the key thing you need to take away from today. If I come here, everybody, take a minute and look at this. The number one thing that organizations are trying to do is to change. That is why everywhere and every day you will hear people say or use the word transformation. And that's why we have a polytechnic called Transformation College, where our job is to transform the lives of people, the lives of young people, the lives of individuals. In Transformation College, that's our job, right? To transform people's lives. So when it comes to business analysis, that's what it is. You and I were people that must compulsorily have business analysis skills because we're enablers of change. We're change makers. We're people who go around to make a change, to institute a change, to ensure that changes are done appropriately, that organizations are not careless with the different types of changes that they are carrying out. I always tell people, nobody should be a project manager except they have excellent business analysis skills. The reason why projects go wrong, the reason why project managers, I beg your pardon, the reason why project managers struggle sometimes is because those project managers in themselves, they do not have great business analysis skill sets. The reason why operational managers, senior managers, and I've seen, because somebody's senior in an organization does not mean that they've got business analysis skills. Trust me. I've seen organizations where they'll call an executive director to make a presentation and is going to mumble his words. His presentation will be unclear. And I'm talking about huge, massive organizations. I've seen where people cannot present or articulate their points appropriately to an audience. And these are senior people. So an organization is always trying to do something. They're always trying to do something. They're always coming up with a new product, a new branch. There's none of those things that an organization should be doing that they can succeed if they don't have people with excellent business analysis skill sets. And that's important. And once again, that's essential. One of the reasons why senior managers, where executives fail, is because these executives in themselves don't have business analysis competencies. Because somebody has worked in a bank for 30 years, or because the person has gone to Harvard, or one of these schools does not translate to the person having excellent business analysis skills. If they did, if all of them did, then I wouldn't have a job. So don't say, oh, if you go abroad, if you do a master's in the UK, in the US, automatically you will have great or excellent business analysis skills. It doesn't always translate. It does not always translate. And you need to know that, and you need to realize that. Let me move on very quickly because of time. Everybody, once again, have a look. Have a quick look. Have a quick look. Everybody. And these are definitions that are from the book. These are definitions that are from the book. This is not my definition. I will show you the ones that I have written. And I have intentionally highlighted some areas in here. Very intentional. So if you're going to give yourself one career boost this year, if you're going to help yourself with something this year, the one thing you want to do this year is to ensure that you give yourself great business analysis skills this year. Once again, around the world, in Canada, in Australia, In different parts of the world, in South Africa, organizations are looking for employees that have great business analysis skills. The reason why a lot of people will travel, a lot of Nigerians, a lot of Ghanaians will travel, and they end up driving Uber when they travel, when they go abroad, is simply because they actually don't have business analysis skills. The one thing that has helped me in my career is business analysis. In everything that I've done, in strategy, in risk management, in process improvement, whatever that thing is, the underlying thing that has helped me as a person is business analysis. I've got excellent business analysis skills, and I'm still trying to get better. I wrote this myself, so everybody, you can read this in 1 minute. And this is a commitment you need to make to yourself. Read this in 1 minute. Let me allow you read and internalize this. So it's not just to read it, it's also to internalize it. So the question is, are you a problem solver? Are you a systematic or methodical problem solver as a person? Do you solve problems in HR? Do you solve problems of cost reduction? Do you solve problems of customer satisfaction? Are you a problem solver? The person that is able to demonstrate everything on my screen right now is a person that organizations are looking to hire. Anybody who's got the skills and the capabilities for what is on my screen right now is the person organizations are looking to hire. For a lot of organizations, and I work with organizations this year, February just ended. I'm certain that at least between January and that February, at the very least, I've worked with a dozen different organizations. I'm 100% certain. In one capacity or the other. And I can tell you, the person organizations are looking for to resolve their issues, to resolve their problems, to help them achieve their objectives. This is the kind of person people are looking for. The one that can use Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint confidently. The one that can help them optimize a solution or an application or a platform. This is the person companies are looking for. And this is who you want to turn yourself into. This is what you want to turn yourself into. A problem solver. Somebody who solves departmental problems, digital marketing problems for organizations, sales problems. And for you to be able to do that, you've got to be a great business analyst. I promise you. You've got to be a great business analyst. You've got to have excellent business analysis skill sets. Let me move on very quickly. All right. Also, look at this. I wrote this myself. This is not copied from a book or a textbook somewhere. I was in a training class. I actually wrote it while I was doing a business analysis training class, just like this one. Just like this. This is who a business analyst is. This is why globally they're trying to hire business analysts. You're the middleman, you're the glue, you're the interpreter, you're the link. In Bible terms, they'll say you're the restorer of the breach and the mender of the paths to dwell in. This is why all of us need to be in the middle. This is why we need this skill set in the middle. Companies, banks, telecommunications organizations, they're all looking for this person. Everybody's looking for this person. Even in our own organization, not all our employees are even on this call. Not all our staff, or not all the staff of Trading Nights are even on this call. If all the staff of our own organization have become excellent in the middle here, then we'll automatically become a global organization. We'll be across the whole of Africa at the very least. The reason why finance people, HR people, sales people, digital marketing people, the reason why they struggle is because they don't have the skill sets for the people that are in the middle here. They don't. Or maybe they have it, but it's at a low level of maturity. And that's what the training and everything that's got to do with business analysis, that's what it deals with. As I said, give yourself a gift. Make a commitment to yourself that you're going to be a great business analyst. Make that commitment to yourself. I am going to be an excellent business analyst. I am going to have excellent business analysis skill, irrespective of my role. I've been doing business analysis for 20 years plus, and I'm still trying to become a world-class business analyst. I'm definitely a Nigerian class. I'm definitely an African class. But I want to be a world-class business analyst. Because the better my business analysis skill sets are, the better executive or CEO that I become. One key thing that will determine whether I'm going to move further as a CEO of a couple of organizations will be the extent to which I can demonstrate business analysis competencies and techniques in my life, in my work life. So people joke with this. They play with it. They trivialize it. It's weird because I see members of our own organization and I know that the challenge that they're having that is stopping them from becoming top performers is because they lack some of these things. Everybody look at this. I wrote this also in a training class. How many people do you really know that are an embodiment of these 12 things? Look at it carefully. Start to think about the people that you know, the professionals that you know, the professionals in your own organization. Start to think properly about how many of them are a true embodiment of this page. I can tell you, it is 1 out of every 10, and I'm being nice. Only 1 out of every 10 persons that you and I know are an embodiment of this page. Every 10 professionals. The reason why employees struggle, entrepreneurs, the reason why employees struggle is because they don't have great business analysis skills. The reason why founders and owners of businesses and entrepreneurs, the reason why they struggle is because they are not an embodiment of these things. Very few people, by the time you get to number 6, number 7, in fact, by the time you get to number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, most people don't have the skills. They don't. Look at number 9. I've written here, they can identify, they can describe, they can articulate the solution. I sit in meetings and people tell me about problems all the time. They describe problems. In fact, I tell some of my people, I say, if there was an award for somebody who is a global problem describer, if there was a word like that, I'll give it to some of them. They're great when it comes to problems. They're very poor when you get to number 7. They can't describe a solution. They can't. They struggle with 7, 8, 9. This is why on the if you go on the news, right? The people that they call to come to discuss something on TV channels, the people will tell you about the problems. They will analyze the problems. They never really understand what the possible solutions might be and how to go about articulating how the solution in itself will be done. People are experiencing low sales. There's a problem there. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, this is if we end this webinar now, if we stop at this moment, you'll find out that you've already gotten value. If you take a screenshot of this and go back to your organization, imagine if you as a person was excellent on this page, then cascade it to other employees in your organization. Imagine that. Imagine what your organization will look like if the average person in your organization is an embodiment of these things. This is what business analysis is trying to equip you with. If you go online, everybody, you'll find a documentation. Everybody, if you're on your computer, maybe when you get home, you'll find something called BABA, the Business Analysis Body of Knowledge, version 3. You put PDF into Google, you will find it. There's some free versions of that particular methodology online. It's available. Anybody who finds a link, you can drop it in the chat room for some people, right? And there's always some free online thing you can find via Google. And if you can't find the actual methodology, you will see snippets, presentations, all sorts of things tied to it. So everybody, what department are you in here? Everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. What's your department? I tell you, you need excellent business analysis skills. Let's everybody go to the chat room. What's your department here? What's the closest department to where you sit? For me, I'll be number 1 primarily, maybe also number 9. That's where I sit in my day job. Everybody go to the chat room. I want to hear from you. Where do you sit? I hope you know that the reason why your organization is not global is because your organization is struggling with something here. I hope you know that. Everybody, I hope you know that. The reason why your organization is not global is because you're struggling with something on this page. Something is missing. Your organization is struggling somewhere on this page. That's why you're not global. Trust me, that's why you're not global. At least that's why you're not you're not an African brand, because your organization is struggling somewhere here. Maybe it's struggling with number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And the reason why you're struggling is because you don't have people with excellence, right? Let me change this. Let me change this. Let me qualify. Business analysis skills. That's why your organization is struggling. My organization, I know where we're struggling. And the reason why we're struggling in certain places is because we don't have people in those areas that have excellent business analysis skills. I do a lot of cybersecurity as a person. The thing that helps me to do cybersecurity is my business analysis skills, but people don't understand that. They think that the business cybersecurity is completely tied to everything that is technical. I can tell you that's not true. Nothing could be further from the truth. So everybody, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what role you have. It doesn't matter what department you're in. You need excellent business analysis skills. Sometimes I'm speaking to HR people and I'm listening to them. I'm seeing the way they're approaching things. And I know that what is wrong with them is that they don't have great business analysis skills. Sometimes I'm speaking to accountants, right? And they're chartered accountants. They know more accounting than I do, but they struggle with with certain areas. And I know that what is missing is because they just have poor business analysis skills. I pretty much, as a person, I pretty much cheat others with my business analysis skills. Pretty much. I take advantage of people because of my business analysis skills. I can dare say that. My business analysis skills gives me superlative advantage over others. Extreme advantage over others. Extreme advantage. So I'm going to beg of you in your life. I mean, this training slide, I put most of them together inside of a training class. So if I give somebody this, for example, somebody who says I'm a strategy expert, but they are unaware of this methodology, they can't, they do, even if they are aware of the methodology, they don't know how to synthesize it. They don't know how to review it. They don't know how to analyze it. They don't know what specific actions they need to take to execute this. So the struggle. So the struggle. I know people who have 10 HR certifications, way more than I do. Some of them might even have a PhD in human resources. I will still take advantage of those people who have a PhD in human resource management because of my business analysis skills. I will still tell them because they are unfamiliar. So I was talking to somebody at the beginning, I think it was Jamila or somebody, who said, oh, I do M&E. But I'm aware of the M&E methodology from World Bank. I know it. I've applied it. I know how to use it. I even understand the weaknesses of that methodology in itself. So Jamila, who works as a specialist M&E person, and I go for an interview, I'm going to get the job before she does. I promise you. Because of my business analysis skill sets. So once again, you need to make sure you become a business analyst. Okay? The reason why organizations struggle with everything here, everybody, I've written some objectives here. The reason why organizations don't use software, I was with a client this week, and the client was saying they don't have money to buy software, and I was showing them an open source, a free software that is available and that can resolve the issues that they have, and they won't have to pay any money for it. Do I know more IT than the people I was talking to? No. I just have better business analysis skills than they do. And part of my business analysis skills is my exposure. Brothers and sisters, make up your mind to become a great business analyst. Make up your mind to become an excellent business analyst. I tell you, if I move my business analysis skills, if I'm able to move my overall business analysis skills from what I'll call, if I'm using a global measure, I'll put myself on 6/10. Global measure. If I'm able to move it to 7 to 8 to 9, I will become a global CEO. My organization is going to become global. We'll have offices in England, offices in different parts of the world. We'll be in Dubai, we'll be in central London. If I can move my business analysis skills further. Organizations have all these problems, but they don't know how to use software. Let's not even talk about how to use artificial intelligence, right? They don't know how to use the appropriate applications, and that's why people buy software, but they never optimize the software. They never get real value. The average value that an organization gets from software is about 10 to 20%. That's it in terms of value. That means the software can give them maybe 100%, but what they can extract from the software is usually about 10 to 20%. Why? Why are organizations in that particular situation? Because the employees of most of those organizations, the leaders in those organizations, they lack business analysis competencies and techniques. All right. Let me move on very quickly. All right. Everybody look at this. I always like to use this in every business analysis class. I always take a minute and look at this and tell me, what do you think went wrong? I've known about this particular diagram for at least 15 years. At least 15 years. So that means this is not a new concept. I didn't even know about this diagram in Nigeria. I was doing something in England. That's when somebody showed me this. Okay. What do you think went wrong? I everybody compare number 1 and number 10. Everybody. So before I go ahead and tell you, let me hear from people. Let me go to the chat room. Everybody, I hope you've seen this. Let me go to the chat room. Let me go to the chat room and see what is everybody tell me. I want to hear from you all in the chat room. What do you think is went wrong here? Everybody, what do you think went wrong here? What do you think, everybody? Tell me, tell me. Go into the chat room. What do you think went wrong? I want to hear from everybody. What do you think went wrong? Quickly. I want to, at least I must hear from about 10 people. Very quickly, everybody. What do you think went wrong? Try to articulate yourself in the chat room. What do you think went wrong here? Come on, people. I'm waiting to hear from you. Everybody. I want to hear from you. Somebody should start. Where is David? Where is Jamila? Articulate yourself in the chat room. That's one of the things you have to learn how to do. How do you articulate yourself? Writing. Writing is a skill set. Writing is a competence. Writing is a skill set. Writing is a competence. Everybody, I need to hear from you. What do you think went wrong? Look, compare number 1 and number 10. How the customer explained it versus what the customer actually really needed. I love it. How the customer explained it versus what the customer really needed. What went wrong? Quickly, quickly, tell me. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Everybody, good. Okay, I'll put the picture back. Okay, the picture is back. Can anybody, you want me to share it again? Hold on. They can also take a screenshot and drop it in the chat room. Okay, Let me hear from you. I think only one person has answered me in the chat room. Kingsley, you're not even allowed to answer. Get out. I'll delete your answer. And I don't even agree with you that was what went wrong. I don't agree. Let me hear from others. Come on, people, come on. Let me hear from you. What do you think went wrong? Come on, somebody should bail us out. What do you think went wrong? I have a lot of people on the call. Abigail, you can bail me out. Adekunle, you can. Adeyemi, you can. Clara, you can. David, you can. Kyle says, poor project scoping. Now, okay, I don't agree, but it's fine. Ebove, Prince says requirement elicitation. Okay. I don't agree, but it's fine. I'm looking for the root cause. David said the lack of what the real problem is. Well, maybe. Manuel, Ibrahim, Moyo, Jamila, Casey, Mark, tell me, what do you think? What do you think is the real reason? Ijoma, Victoria, Wura, anybody? It's aligned to common gathering. Well, Sonny says misaligned to common gathering. Well, that's partially right, just like David, partially right. But I can tell you what it is. The number one thing that has gone wrong with this diagram, everybody, is that the customer is not trained to be a business analyst. This organization, the employee of the organization, are not business analysts. They don't have business analysis skills and capabilities. The employees of the organization, who in this particular diagram are referred to as the customer, they are not trained and they are not equipped with the right business analysis skills. That's the underlying root cause. So they themselves, the owners of the problem, the person feeling the pain, the person who has an issue himself is unable to articulate his own problem appropriately. That is the overall root cause here. The employee of this organization referred to here as the customer is not trained, is not skilled at articulating, describing, documenting his own problems and issues. So his explanation is poor, and he should have gone beyond just explanation. He should have written what his problems are in very clear and precise terms. That's why I keep saying all of us need to have excellent business analysis skill sets. The employees of Training Heights in Nigeria, in Ghana, the employees of all the companies of AFOS, of all of them need, of PSC, of AFOS, they need excellent business analysis skills. The ability to be able to articulate and document their issues and to provide possible solutions. That's the root cause. The number two thing that went wrong here is that they should have brought in the analyst before the project manager. Imagine if the employee himself had done the articulation of his own challenges and even documented what they might perceive to be a solution. Imagine if number 10 was articulated inside of number 1, everybody. Tell me, imagine if that number 10 was articulated It doesn't mean that the person can deliver the project. It doesn't mean the person knows all the steps to the delivery. We're only talking about the person being able to articulate the problem and also provide possible solutions. That's why I showed you this slide earlier, everybody. This slide, this one. Imagine if the customer that is being referred to there had these capabilities, that problem would never have occurred. That's the problem. The employees, the guy in HR, the guy in customer service, the guy in customer support, the accountant of the organization does not have these capabilities. Number two is that they should have brought in the analyst before the project manager, so that even if the employee was struggling, a business analyst in the organization should have been able to help with this articulation. Number three is that the project manager himself lacked these capabilities, everybody. That is what went wrong. I can tell you categorically, that is what went wrong here. That's the genesis of the whole thing. Staff of the organizations, employees cannot articulate themselves. They can't write what it is that they're feeling. Then the organizations don't have great business analysts to be able, even if the employees as a second line of control, that the employee does not know how to do it, but we have a solid business analyst that can help. Number three control is that the project leader, seeing that maybe the employees got it right, got it wrong, seeing that maybe the analyst got it wrong, then he has excellent business analysis skills that is able to help. That's where it all went wrong, everybody. Give me your thoughts and your comments in the chat room. I can tell you that's where it all went wrong, everybody. I can tell you that's where it all went wrong. I can tell you. That's why I keep saying over and over again, all of us need to have excellent business analysis skill sets. People are having meetings, but they don't have excellent business analysis skill sets, so they don't get the best out of the meetings. The way they analyze, the way they see things, they're not thinking through things. I tell you, if I had one superpower as a person, a single superpower as a person, it will be my business analysis skill set. And I still don't think I score 7 over 10 globally. Now, if I don't score 7 over 10 globally, I think you should also rate yourself. All right. I tried to do some articulation here. I wrote this in a training class. If Kingsley can remember, if some other people can remember, all right, I wrote this in a training class. Everybody. Look at number one. That is the root cause. And I can add something to this. Let me put it here and say employees have poor BA skills. Because employees have poor BA skills, they are never able to articulate themselves properly. That's the problem. That's the root cause of the problem. I have about 100 employees in different parts of Africa. I don't have employees in North America or in Europe yet. I have a lot of employees that have gone to those locations. Number one is the root cause. And then it goes on. Everybody take a minute. I don't want to have to read this to you. But this is it. This is where, and that's why you said, I also said documenting. You know, in Africa, we love to talk. Am I right? We don't write, we struggle to write, but everybody can talk. Everybody can talk. Everybody likes to talk. I remember every time I've gone to one business school or the other, and they put us in case study group and all that, I always end up, everybody will think that I'm the smartest person in the room all the time. I'm definitely not the smartest, but I like to write. I like to draw. So while everybody is talking, I remember one that I went for was at CMD. They put us in a group. They said we should make a presentation. They all spoke. I just sat down quietly. I was barely contributing. I was just working on the slides. By the time that they had spoken for about an hour, then I was saying, okay, so let's put everything together. Like, let's summarize. At that time, I just told the guy that, wait, hold on, let me show you something. I just pull up the slides. I remember that the head of, what's that place called now? Whether it's Nigerian British Association or something, some Nigerian British something. Oh, no, I remember now. It's the Chamber of Commerce. The head of the Chamber of Commerce then. The man took my number. He used to call me. He would even send me presentations that he's trying to make. That can I help him? He was so blown away. He just could not believe that in an hour, somebody who was in the group and just kept quiet had articulated all the things that all of them were screaming, talking about, again, this, that, clearly in a set of about 8 or 9 slides. Then the group leader who was meant to do the presentation now said, no, that he can't do the presentation, that I have to do the presentation. Now, I'm the one that put the presentation together. All the things that they were saying, none of them we never used any of those things because I just sat in front of my computer. I do it. Some of my leaders are here. Sonny is here. Muiwa is here. Wisdom is here. I would take advantage of them because I write better. I articulate better. What are we trying to do? Why are we doing it? When is it going to be done? Who's going to do it? What are the risks that we envisage? How do we approach this? The ability to be able to articulate yourself, not just in words, but also in writing. So that organization, number one thing that went wrong is that they didn't train everybody on business analysis. Number two is that same organization does not have great business analysts. Number three is that the project manager in that organization also does not have great business analysis skill sets. Of course, everything is going to go wrong. This is why projects go wrong. This is why organizations struggle. They can't think right. And I'll show you something. It's part of this. I hope you've looked at this. All right? I explained this. Let me show you something very quickly, everybody. This is it. In our organization right now, we're working towards this. I'll show it to you in a second. Where is it now? This is it. This is what we have literally sworn by in our own organization. That as much as is within our power, between January and December, we're going to try to ensure that the average employee in our own organization is an embodiment of these 6 competencies and the 29 sub-competencies or components, as much as it is within our power. And this is directly from the business analysis body of knowledge. Unfortunately, this one-pager was put together by myself. That means I went into the business analysis body of knowledge and I turned it into a 1-page PowerPoint documentation. I didn't give it to my employee. I didn't give it to Christiana. I didn't give it to Kingsley. I did it myself. Demonstrating business analysis skills from me as a person. My ability to put this 1-page together is a demonstration for me of number 7, under competence 1, right? It's also a demonstration of number 5 under competence 3. It's also a demonstration of number 3 under competence 4. It's also a demonstration of number 1, because I did it in PowerPoint, under competence 6. Imagine if all the employees in my organization were the people who could demonstrate this, if all the leaders, all the departmental heads, all the business leaders can score. I'm not talking about whether they know it from a knowledge perspective. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm not talking about knowledge here. And maybe I should put something here. Knowledge, let me put it here. Knowledge versus skills and capabilities. Because you know, in Africa, when we say knowledge, we assume, everybody, that it is equal to skills and capabilities. That is why all of us have 100 degrees. You know, in Africa, it's about degrees. So people have 10 PhDs, whatever number of PhDs, masters, but they struggle to use Microsoft Excel. They have all sorts of degrees, but they struggle to articulate themselves. Everybody, can you see that under competence number 4, there is verbal communication in there? But can you also see that they included written and listening? Look at competence number 1 and look at how they have made a distinction between 4 different types of thinking. People don't even know the difference. Neither do they know how to demonstrate these 4 types of thinking. Brothers and sisters, this is what is wrong in your career. This is what is wrong in your professional life. And it is this page that is stopping your organization from getting to where it should get to. This is what your leaders, your managers, your senior managers, your executives, it is their inability to demonstrate these 29 things. I tell you, I'm a leader, and I can tell you, just looking at myself and looking at the areas where I am poor as a person. I'm poor in some areas. I'm poor in definitely poor in some areas. Maybe I don't listen enough. Maybe I'm slow to adapt. Number 5, under competence 2. Maybe I struggle with what I can call creative thinking. My ability to, I'm very much steeped in systems thinking as a person. I'm not a creative. I'm definitely not a creative. Maybe my ability to, let me see, maybe my ability to work, to do negotiation and conflict resolution is poor. And I'm talking about me as a person. Analyze yourself here and everybody. What are your top 5 weaknesses here? Because most people cannot be honest with themselves. I hope you know that. I hope you know that you and I, we cannot really face to look at ourselves objectively, like a hard look, to really say that I'm actually poor in this particular area. Maybe it's your leadership and influencing skills. I did not write that. I did not put this up. It's inside the business analysis body of knowledge. It's inside of Babok. Maybe my number 4 as a person is poor. Maybe my leadership quotient, when it comes to that leadership and to influence, maybe I'm not there yet. I think if you look at me overall on this page, I will score 6. By the time I score 8, our organizations will be global. I promise you. If I can score 8 or 9, we'll be global. This is a global assessment grid. People, when I say this, people think that they're talking about, can I define? You know, in Nigerian education, that's what we learned. How do you define something? Definition is meaningless. Why do you need to cram definition? You have a phone, you have ChatGPT. Cramming things is not a skill, it's not an advantage. That's what we mean by knowledge. If you look at the typical African education, go back to University of Lagos, go and do a master's degree. It will still be the same thing. Define, explain, define, explain. That's what you still see in master's degrees. Define, explain, on paper, in a notebook. Is not an indication of anything at all. It's not, that definitely doesn't come anywhere close to skills. Neither does it come down to anything that is even about a capability. Take this away with you. Put this screenshot in the chat room. If you take nothing away from here, take this as one of the key things. In our organization, we just made banners. We're putting them around the entire organization. If we get all our employees or the average employee to score 50% here, we will double our results. If I have a bunch of leaders that work with me in my organization. If I can get my leaders to score 50% here, we will double our results as a business. But people don't take this thing seriously. They think it's a joke. When people want to learn business analysis, they want to pass an exam. That's all they're thinking about. They're not thinking about the results. They're not thinking about achievements around what they can achieve or what they can get done. They're only thinking about passing an exam. So a lot of people will pass the exam, but they are not an embodiment of this particular page. They don't know how to use AI tools. What do you think is the average score of all of us when it comes to the use of ChatGPT on this score? Trust me, there's no way we're ever going to score more than 4 over 10. If they add myself and everybody that is here, because prompt engineering is a skill set. Your ability to be able to develop the most intelligent prompts, even for ChatGPT, is a skill set. You don't know that? Go online. There is even a training that we encourage everybody to do. It is the MSI. Can somebody look for that link for me? The MSI prompt the training and exam, something like that, on the portal called MSI. MSI, you can look for the link and put it in the chat room. Your ability to be able to prompt intelligently is very difficult. And the reason why you can do that is because you've got poor business analysis skill set. When I start to talk about departments in an organization and I start to talk about their processes, when I start to talk about industries, I am demonstrating number 1, number 2, and number 3 under competence 3. That's why I said if I have one superpower, it's on this page. I literally cheat my competition based on my skills, and my skills are not even optimal. I promise you, my skills are not optimal. I will give myself an overall 6 on this page. And I'm not talking about knowledge. I'm talking about my skills and my capabilities here. I'll score myself 60 over 100. So everybody go to the chat room and give yourself a score quickly. I want to see your score in the chat room. I want to see your score in the chat room. So that course called MSI prompt something. I've forgotten what that course is. Bodru and all the others, look for it, drop it in the chat room. Look for it, drop it in the chat room. All of you must go away going to do it. It's a simple course. It won't even take you more than an hour to do. At least it starts to come into your consciousness the concept of how to be able to develop the most intelligent prompts, even for ChatGPT. It will come to your mind. It'll come to your mind. Everybody, so I want to see your score quickly. Let's go to the chat room. Tell me your score. What do you think you score? Everybody, they put it here. Prompting essentials inside of the chat room. I hope you have access to the chat room. I hope you have access to the chat room. So that's why most people with Nigerian education, except they retrain themselves, they're going to struggle because the education teaches you how to cram. What's that thing they talk about? La cram, la pour. Cram it, pour it, pass, go away. Okay? Everybody, give yourself a score. I put myself at 60%. I put myself at 60% as a person on that page. If I can get to 8, I promise you we'll be global. If I can get as a person, if I can get to 8, we will be global. If I can take myself and I can get myself to 8, a solid 8, I'm 60% as of today as a person. 60%. If I can get myself to 8, we will be global. As I said, I'm not talking about knowledge. I'm talking about me having solid evidence within the work that I do. I'm an executive. Do I have evidence that I can demonstrate, evidence of my daily operational demonstration of these competencies? Everybody, that's what I'm talking about as a person. Evidence of my daily operational demonstration of these competencies. I score myself 60. I definitely score myself 60. I definitely, as a person, my ability to, with the evidence, real evidence of my demonstration of these things. Most of you are you're inflating your scores. I sit at least on about 1.5 billion, 2 billion revenue. So if I'm scoring 6 over 10 or 60, some of these your scores, they're hypothetical. I sit on about 2 billion, and we're a consulting firm. If I can get to 7, my 2 billion will definitely move to 10. If I can get to 8, I will most likely be sitting on a 50 billion the Naira company at the very least. So think about it. Some of these your scores, you're not really thinking about it. You're thinking I'm talking about definitions. You're thinking I'm thinking about your you cramming and giving me an explanation. I'm saying, look at what I've written. The evidence of my daily operational demonstration of these competencies. I showed my people something some days ago. I'll put that slide up. All right. I put that maybe I put the slide up. I said results, they don't lie. Results don't lie. Results, they don't lie. Some of you that are giving over when it comes to the use of Word, Excel, some of these things, people are struggling with some of these things. Right? Put something in the chat room. Let me look for it in a minute. Some days ago, I said to myself and to my team, I said, results, they don't lie. People can have explanations, people can have all sorts of things, but results, they do not lie. Because at the end of the day, it's about results. It's about results. Do you have the results to demonstrate what we're talking about? Do you have the results? I was telling my team, I said it's about results. You and I are measured on results. We're not measured on English. We're not measured on many things. English is important, your ability to be able to, sometimes when I go to some places and I say, let us rate your communication skills. And then sometimes the people will give me a certain score. Then I tell them that you can't, I don't believe you have this score because you don't even communicate as well as I do. And now if you have a score that is more than my score, that means you're not being objective. Okay? I tell people that. This is what I told my team some days ago. Everybody, I hope you can see my screen. People, right? Share this with them internally. And the thing that will help you so that you know you're not the person that is fixated on number 1 to 10. You and I should be fixated on the last line, RDNL. That's it. Should be fixated on this. And the thing that will help us so that we don't become people with explanations, people with excuses and complaints, people with promises, people with, all sorts. The only thing that will help us is this page, everybody. Our ability to demonstrate this. A lot of people are not learning. They're not learning. They're not improving. They're not solving problems. A lot of people are not making the right decisions. They're not adapting to the economy, to all sorts of things. All right. I'll talk about 2 more things, and then we'll probably bring this session to a beautiful close. I'll talk about 2 or 3 more things, and then we'll bring this session. So everybody, have you clicked on the link that is shared in the chat room? Can everybody see the MSI Prompt Essentials? The MSI Prompt Essentials. Click on it, save it somewhere, go through the course. It's a simple course, very simple course. But if you can demonstrate the content of all that, that is your first step in AI. That certificate or that training, once again, I don't care about the certificate. I care about the skills and the capabilities that you can get, and it can translate into. A lot of companies don't hire because of certificates, definitely not abroad. Companies are not going to hire you because you've got great certificates. They're going to hire you. They don't even hire you for knowledge sake. They're going to hire you for skills and capabilities. That is why most people who have a professional job in Nigeria, they're bankers, they work in insurance. When they go abroad, they drive Uber. Then you will see somebody who's been a banker for 20 years. Then they go to the UK and then they want to start care job. Why? They all have degrees. They all worked while they were in Nigeria, but they don't have business analysis skills. They're not able to translate what they were doing in Nigeria. They're not adaptable to a new environment. The typical Nigerian does 3 things when they travel. It's Uber, it is security, and it is care work. And I'm talking about the typical person who had a job. They had a professional job. In Nigeria, they end up with Uber, with care work, and security. How can educated people with degrees, with master's degrees, something has gone wrong? They have knowledge, but they do not have skills and they don't have capabilities. They have knowledge, but they don't have skills and capabilities. Let me talk to you about this, right? Very quickly. Here. This is another training all of you need to go to do. Please share the link for the Scrum Study Fundamentals. Everybody, that's another link. It will help you significantly. It will help you significantly. Because everybody talks about Agile. So you cannot be somebody who does not know what does Agile mean, how does Agile work. And these things, they're going to go through them in the business analysis training class that starts next week, Saturday. Next week, Saturday, is a business analysis training class. Next week, Saturday, for 4 Saturdays, for about 6 hours, you're going to be drilling down into different areas. But this is a prerequisite. It's good for you to do this, everybody. It is good for you to do this. So go the Scrum study, fundamentals. Go take the training. It's for free. It also has a certificate. It's good. Do the work, generate the certificate. But you know what they say? Don't get high on your own supplies. The interpretation of that is don't get cocky or confident simply because you have a certificate. Certificate is not equal to skills. The ownership of a certificate does not translate into skills and capabilities. Every Nigerian lecturer needs to tell people that. Every professor, every VC, vice chancellor needs to tell people that knowledge is good, but knowledge is not enough. You need skills and capabilities. Certificate is good, but certificate is not enough. You need skills and capabilities. So everybody, if you have those 2 links, go into the chat room and confirm that you have both links. The MSI Prompt Essentials and the Scrum Study, Scrum Fundamentals. Everybody, go into the chat room and confirm. Go into the chat room and confirm. Let me go to the chat room, everybody. And all of you should take those 2 things away with you today. Everybody, take those 2 things away. Please come to the chat room and confirm. I have both links. Save them somewhere, keep them somewhere. The MSI Prompt Essentials and the Scrum Study. Everybody, please confirm. Oh, David was asking, yes, hands-on experience. That's what I was saying. Yeah, hands-on. I said evidence. Yeah. Good. Stella says I have both links. Thank you very much, Stella, for that. All of you need, those are the things that I consider with the prompt engineering. You're going to be capturing what I like to consider to be AI 001. The MSI course is what I consider to be AI 001. And so when we put this today, we also said that Agile, this Scrum study is what I consider to be Agile 001. Agile 001. Agile 001. Okay? Right? And those are 2 free training things that you can take advantage of. Okay. Let me show you one more thing. And this is it. Business analysis talks about some techniques, everybody. Business analysis talks about 50 techniques. 50. They're written inside of the material. Once again, I took the pen and I typed this out myself. And I like to stress that because I can give people these things to type for me. I have a lot of employees. I can tell them to do these things for me. But the process of typing them out allows me to properly assimilate and review them. Once again, I've done a 3-tier scale at the top. Can you see? If you have knowledge, that will be 1 in any area. If you have skills, that will be 2. When your skills have now gone further, it has become expertise. Aha, that's another level. That's another level. Africans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Kenyans, Cameroonians, we think that knowledge is equal to skills. We think that skills is equal to ability or expertise. Okay? You share it again. Thinking that knowledge is skills, we think, everybody. This is the page, and you can take a screenshot and drop it in the chat room. This is the page. The business analysis body of knowledge gives us these 50 techniques. They call them techniques. They say that you and I need to be people who can demonstrate these things. I didn't write it. I didn't say it. The business analysis body of knowledge says that people with business analysis skills, including people who are professional business analysts, what makes them great with regards to what they do is their ability to demonstrate these techniques. They might demonstrate these techniques from 3 perspectives. Let me write it here. Let me write it here. Let me put something like this here. Ability to demonstrate these techniques as part of our operational activities. This includes using various Word, Excel, PowerPoint templates to demonstrate these techniques. Okay, this also includes using tools and platforms like Figma, Trello, Jira, and others. Canva, and others right? And others to demonstrate these techniques as part of our operational activities. That's what it means. Sometimes when I'm talking to people, they think I'm referring to a definition, the ability to define, because they're thinking like the way Africans think about these things. That is why in our training class, we use some of these tools. We use Visagi. We use Figma. We use Xmind. Most people struggle to use Word, to use Excel, to use PowerPoint, to use Forms, either MS or Google Forms. Those kinds of things. People struggle. In between those 29 6 competencies and 29 subcomponents are these 50 techniques. That is how you're going to become a great business analyst. Some people will look at 600 pounds. They like the sound of it. That's great. Kind of money that will be brilliant, beautiful. But do you have the skills and the capabilities? Because they're not going to give you that job because you have a certificate. They really don't care about the certificate. They don't even care whether you've gone to school. At least formal school, don't really care. The ones I've marked in yellow, everybody, the ones that I've marked in yellow are the things that I expect everybody. They're not technical. So what I did was that I marked those ones in yellow, about 35 of them. They're not technical. Those 35 are not technical. The remaining 15 kind of belong to, you know, people who are like maybe developers or whatever those technical people are. Or these 35, even if you're in procurement, you should have these skills. Even if you're a lawyer, you should know these techniques. Those 35, all of us should know them. We should have those capabilities. We should have them. People think they can. People don't realize that it takes skill sets to be able to do number 25. Some serious training. Otherwise, all of us will be Aman Paul. Otherwise, all of us will be Trevor Noah. There are very few of those people globally. People don't know how to do number 45 intelligently using Microsoft Forms, Google Forms. People struggle with, because they don't understand, if you're going to do number 37, you're going to need to write a report, a smart, sensible report. If you ask the average person about number 8, they don't know the 9 elements that make up the business model canvas. They don't know it. So they cannot analyze an organization based on the business model canvas. And sometimes these are very senior people in organizations. If you put executives together in a room, give them a template, that would be a brilliant exercise I'll look to do with one organization. The only challenge is that you don't want to embarrass the executives. Put them in a room, give them a template, and tell them to analyze the organization that they're in. Everybody go and look for that business model canvas template. It exists, it's online. What do you can look for it and share a link or share a picture. Put executives together and tell each of them to write 5 things under the 9 areas, for their own organization. They're going to struggle. Some of them will take an excuse. They'll say that Tom is paying them. They're going to say that they have a meeting. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Anyways, so pretty much everybody give yourself a score here too. Percentage. I give myself, once again, 60. I give myself 60 on this page. If I can move, if I was between 70 and 80, my company will be a 10 billion naira company already. So this is about how to use these techniques. Let me add it here. How to use these techniques to solve company problems. Let me add that to it. How do you use these techniques to solve problems in reality? How? This is why HR people need to understand. I hope my HR is here. I wish my HR was here. The 3 of them, or 4 of them, or 5 of them actually. There are 5 of them that work in HR, in our organization. I wish they were an embodiment of the things that we're talking about here. I wish there were people who can demonstrate some of these things. I wish so. How to use these techniques to add value to the organization. Let me include it there. How to use these techniques to add value to the organization. How to use it to solve problems, how to use them to I'm not talking about just, generally using them like it's a competition to you be able to use them. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. Everybody give yourself a score. Or you take a screenshot, you can dump it in the chat room. Give yourself a score. Everybody take a screenshot. Go back. I score 6. I definitely don't score more than 6 over 10. If I could score 7 or 8, it will have a direct impact on my organization. The higher my score here, I will see the results in my organization. To add value to the organization and to deliver. I like to qualify things, exceptional results. Not just results, but exceptional results. I'm not talking about just results. I'm talking about how can I use these techniques to deliver exceptional results. Everybody give yourself a score. Give yourself a score. Everybody give yourself a score. I want to go to the chat room. I score 6 over 10, 60%, me as a person. Quickly, others, give yourself a score. I want to see everybody score. What do you score? What's your score? I'm 60 over 10. I'll be over 100. I'm 60%. I am 60. I am confidently 60. Hoping to improve, praying to improve, working hard as a person to improve. I'm looking to improve. I'm trying to improve. I'm working hard to improve. I want to improve on my business. I have an objective as a person to become the best business analyst that is possible. And it's not a competition. It's based on the results that I'm able to deliver as a person. Mark, are you sure you're 45? Mark, I'm 60. Mark, I am 60. Mark, I'm 60 overall. Remember what I said. My results need to show. My results need to show. When I get to 10 billion naira company, then it will be obvious that I'm level 8. I'll be 80%. All right, people. Thank you very much. We've come to the end of this session. Please give me some feedback. I want everybody to give me feedback. Mark, I like that. Everybody, want to tell me the top 3 things that you've learned today? I beg of you. I need that as my payment for this class. I need to compile the top 3 things each person has learned from this session. That's my payment from you. So everybody, what are the top 3 things since I've been speaking? What are the top 3 things that have occurred to you? What are the top 3 things that have crossed your mind? I want to hear from everybody. Your top 3 learning points and takeaway. What exactly are they? What are your top 3 learning points and your takeaway from this particular session as we bring this to a beautiful close? Articulate your top 3 clearly in the chat room, everybody. Everybody, articulate your top 3 clearly in the chat room. Everybody. I want to hear from everybody. Kayode, David, Elo, Wura, Lara, everybody. I want your top 3. I want to collate the top 3 from everybody. Articulate yourself properly in the chat room. I showed you 29 competencies. We spoke extensively at the beginning. I showed you that thing called the swing tree diagram. Swing tree diagram. Swing tree diagram. We analyzed it. That swing tree diagram. Swing tree diagram. Swing tree diagram. I definitely. Yeah, I like that. Thank you, Tommy. I like the way you put the 3 of them. Yeah, I mean, what's the point? Are you in a you don't? I mean, you're not in the competition where you want to go and start. It's not like a debate. Doctors are better than lawyers. If doctors are better than lawyers, let the doctors prove with results. So I like that. Absolutely. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you for that. Major competencies and the skills. Thank you for that, Mrs. Williams. Everybody needs VA skills. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, now. Developing your skills is key. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Yeah. Your business would only grow when the entire team can display those business analysis skill sets. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, Mrs. Williams. Thank you for that, Mark. David, great knowledge delivery. Thank you very much. Thank you. I want everybody to tell me. We looked at the swing tree diagram, and I said the swing tree diagram is a testament to the need. It's a testament to the need for all employees to have excellent VA skills. This will enable them. This will enable them articulate their business and operational challenges. Absolutely. The testament. That's why that swing tree diagram is very important. That's why the swing tree diagram is very important. I put something in the chat room, everybody, about that swing tree diagram. Thank you, Kade. Absolutely, Kade. Thank you, Kade. Kade, thank you. Aloha. Results don't lie. I like that. All right. Business analysis skills is a must for everyone. 29 competences. MM. Yes, the employees, the customer, they don't have. Right? It's a superpower. I promise you, VA is a superpower. It is a superpower, absolutely. 6 competencies that's got 29 components and then 50 techniques. And then, of course, the tools. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I don't agree, Augustine. It's certificate plus knowledge plus some expertise and no, sorry. So let me put it right. Knowledge, right? Let me write it properly. Knowledge plus certificate, maybe, plus experience, which is where we can call hands-on. And maybe even exposure. Some of you, a lot of you have been exposed to a lot of these things. Is what we will call skills. Right? Please let me write it. Let me write it properly, Augustine, so that you'd understand it. And then skills developed and sharpened. Let me write it properly. Sharpened over time will be over time is expertise / capability. Are we together? Please look at it. I've written it properly in the chat room. And Bodu, you should have all these things. Thank you very much, David. 29 is 6 competencies. 6 competencies with 29 components or sub-competencies, right? It's 6 competencies, and then the 29, and then we also had the 50 techniques. The 50 techniques. All right, so Augustine, I've written it properly. Copy it somewhere. Copy it somewhere. Learn what it is, right? Knowledge for certificate, you need some experience and hands-on, and you also need some exposure. Like this session that you have come for has exposed you to a lot of things. A session like this gives you exposure. Mark, I don't understand. When starting your journey as a man, can you write CBA, pass your exam, apply to job? Does it work that way? I mean, I think I've already talked about that. That's not how it works. You need some hands-on skill sets. You need some hands-on skill set, right? You need some hands-on. Passing an exam is not that important. Thank you very much, Jamila. Hey, Wura, yes. Absolutely, Wura, absolutely. Prince Joan. Or you're going to have to, I mean, internship, work somewhere, get involved with projects, ERP projects, all sorts of things. But I can apply this even in sales. I can apply it in business development. I can apply it in personal research. I can apply it in marketing. I can apply these things in different areas of my work life. I can apply it if I was an HR personnel. That's how you get the skills. That's how you get it. Remember that I've only tried to do in 2 hours what they're going to do over the next couple of weeks. So maybe that is the starting point. Maybe that is the right place for you to start. Get involved over the next couple of weeks. They're going to be having the training classes. If you need a discount, speak to Victoria. Where are you? There's your beautiful face. Victoria, where is your beautiful face? If you need a discount, speak to Victoria. She's nice. Where is Victoria? Where is your face? It's not only your chat you want to see. Talk to Victoria that she should give you a discount. Tell Victoria that you attended the, what's it called? Tell Victoria, I attended the webinar and I demand, I request, I plead, I beg for a discount. All right? Reach out to Victoria. Victoria, how can the people reach you? Tell her, Victoria, because I attended the webinar, because of that, at least I should get about 20 to 25% discount. Tell her. This starts next week. It's detailed, it's hands-on. This is not one of those sessions you're going to attend using a telephone. Not a session you're going to attend using your telephone. It's not. So you can see that today I have touched on the techniques. I've also talked about some of the tools and technologies. And I've also talked about the competence, which is not written here. I can go on and on. For example, I can start to go through with you, but because of time, this is a timed session and I want to bring it to a close soon. In the training class, maybe one of the trainers, for example, will talk to us about something. Let me show you something. Maybe one of the trainers in the training class will speak to us, for example, about artificial intelligence. We're going to tell them, we'll tell all the trainers, reach out to Victoria and demand. Tell her that you came for this class and you're demanding you're begging, demanding, pleading, requesting. I don't know what's for at least a 25% discount. Right? So one of the trainers can speak to you about this, how to use artificial intelligence tied to your role, or maybe tied to your industry. I can't go through all these things. These are things that are in the training class. The trainers will talk about artificial intelligence tied to your role. This one is industry-based, trying to tell you that if you're in financial services, how can artificial intelligence help you? If you're in insurance, if you're in financial services, how can AI help you? So if you see something like this, it will show you front office, back office. How can AI be applied? We're talking about practical things now. We're not talking about, everybody just talks about AI. How can AI help you? How can it help you in your front office operations, in your back office operations? Some of the trainers are going to get each of them to talk about how AI can help industries or help you in your role as a person. How? How can you build an agent? How can you build something that would help you so that when people need a quote for insurance, how can AI help so that insurance quotes will be accurate, correct, and delivered without human intervention? How can AI help you with regards to claim processing? How can AI help you practically with regards to people filling the KYC forms? How can AI help you with regards to due diligence before you give somebody a loan? How can AI help you? All right, so how can AI help? How can you create an agent? There is a course that we have. It's a free course. It happens the last Friday of every month. It's AI for business analysts. I wish I could find, Godwin, if you can find the form. It's a Friday. AI for business analysts, where they look into this appropriately. You can go to Transformation College. It will help you. But you still need core business analysis skills. And that's what we're going to be doing over the next 4 weeks. You have experts, people who do and live business analysis. That's what they do. Kingsley, Christiana. You have others, Benga. That's what they do. It's their day job. So pretty much the concept of building an agent. How can I build an agent? What's the intelligent way and approach where we can build? How do I feed that agent with certain types of data and information? Because as you know, it's what you feed in that determines what you get out of it. All right, let me stop sharing. I think we need to go. Once again, training commences next week, Saturday. Reach out to Victoria, everybody. Get your sister, get your girlfriend, get your husband, get your children, get your grandchildren, get them to have excellent business analysis skills. It will help you. It doesn't matter your line of work. It doesn't matter your career. All right? Speak to Victoria. If you show her that you don't have a job, that you just finished university, you're doing national service, she might even give you more discounts. Victoria is nice. Victoria, where is your face now? Eh? Where is your real face? Victoria, please show us your face so that we know who Victoria is. Huh? So that we can come back to her. So just work with Victoria. She'll give you a discount. She's nice. Training starts on Saturday. And so tell your friends, tell your cousins. Do you know how much business analysis class is? Can anybody check online? Do you know how much business analysis class is? If you are taking it in the UK, can you check? A 4 or 5 day analysis training class. Do you know the fee? Can somebody check ChatGPT? An accredited training class for business analysis. Do you know? If you go to take it with a company like Global Knowledge or Learning Tree, one of those organizations, how much is a business analysis class? Does anybody know? Globally, if you're taking it in Canada, can you check? I want somebody, this is the last thing we'll do today. I want somebody to tell me, how much is a business analysis class outside of Africa, outside of Nigeria, even in South Africa? Can anybody check for me and put the fee? Anybody? Anybody? If you get a discount of 20% from Victoria, you know that comes down to $50. Okay, Almond Career, 600K. Right? Almond Career, thank you very much. 600K. And they're not even, if you talk about all those global ones, Global Knowledge, Knowledge Academy, Learning Tree, those kinds of organizations, never. All right, thank you very much. David says $1,000. So right now we're asking you to pay $50. You see that there is a problem in Africa. $50. That's a free class. That's a free class. $50. $50. Discounted fee of $50 for a full accredited training class as it is. All right, people, thank you very much. Thank you. It's great. Appreciate your time. And I look forward to seeing all of you. That's the exam, the international exam. But because we're an accredited training organization, and this is an accredited training class, we also give you, we give you a test and an exam. So, but it is not the CBAP exam. But because this is an accredited training, we're accredited to deliver this training. So it's not a training that we're delivering from under our beds. Let me show you this. So this is not from under our beds. When you are doing it, maybe my screen seems to be hanging. Meanwhile, can you share your screen and put up your certificate? It's an accredited training class. My screen is hanging. Can anybody still hear me? My screen is hanging. I have too many things open. Miwa, are you there? Can anybody hear me? Hello, Benga, Victoria, can anybody hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we
yes,
can.
we can. Yes, we can, sir.
Yes, so my screen is
Can hear
hanging.
you.
I can't share my screen any longer. So Miwa, it's an accredited training class. All right, people. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you, everyone. Thank you. Miwa,
Thank
over
you.
to you. All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
everyone.
much, Doctor, for that insightful session. It was really, really good, and I want to appreciate everyone for taking our time to join this call to gain more knowledge, because there's something I always like to say, because I saw it somewhere. Like they say, certification will only get you one leg in, but your skill set will definitely land you the job. Because once you know what you are doing, once you have proper skills, you will definitely get the job you are looking for. Once again, I want to thank everybody for joining the call. In the chat box, you can see a feedback form. Kindly fill the feedback form, and also you could join our community and follow us on our social and on our different social media handles. Just want to say thank you once more. And if you have any questions, Victoria's number is also in the chat box. You can reach out to her and ask any question that you want to ask. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. Thank you very much.